Hello all, welcome to the Court of the Digester. Two things have happened that I think it's important we recognise. One of them is that there's the Department of Education's draft guidance for the trans nonsense in schools is now open for consultation. The Gay Men's Network have done theirs, the LGBT Alliance will do theirs, various other organisations have done theirs, and I'm sure that the trans community, whatever it is, will also do theirs. But there's an interesting one from January the 8th, which is a very long read. It's from translucent.org.uk, and I shall put the links as usual in the doobers. But I'll just give you a little bit of flavour for this before I move on to part 2 of this video. This commentary on Department for Education draft guidance is by Robin Moira White. So it's the introduction is the gender questioning children's guidance was published on the 19th of December. We know this, for consultation lasting until the 12th of March. So what Robin has done is split this commentary into two parts, general comments, and works through the draft guidance section by section. Okay, so what I'm going to give you is the executive summary from Robin. It is immensely disappointing that having waited so long for this guidance, the present government have apparently allowed the party political desire to engage in a culture war to take precedence over giving useful guidance to schools on how to accommodate trans children. You know my take on that. There isn't such a thing. The draft guidance is fundamentally flawed and should be torn up. It'll never be enough for these people until you give them full access to the kids. Never. It should be thrown away and a fresh start made. If followed, the guidance would, in my opinion, be likely to lead to educational institutions acting unlawfully towards trans students. There's no such thing. Whether the act of issuing the guidance in its present form is itself unlawful is a public law question. It seems likely that the relevant ministers, Keegan and Badenoch, have issued guidance which they know or have been advised is likely to lead to schools acting unlawfully. At the very least, on a moral level, that seems extraordinary and reprehensible. So what Robin's saying is that they're playing games. He's saying that Keegan and Badenoch are saying about playing games. That's what it seems to me he's saying there. They're not playing games, Robin. They're doing what they can to protect children from the likes of you and others who believe in gender ideology and gender identity and all the rubbish that comes with it, from harming themselves fundamentally, psychologically, mentally and physically. That's what they're doing. And they're doing it within the framework that currently exists, because to pass primary legislation, which we can't do until we get Labour out of the way, because we're going to get 4 years of Labour, then we'll pass the primary legislation and we'll end it once and for all. Robin then continues, there are at least two much better sets of guidance available in the UK at the moment, which could be used as a basis for a useful practice, for a useful, practical, inclusive national guidance document for England, rather than the draft, the purpose and or effect of which is to exclude, isolate and humiliate trans students. Robin then begins to take it apart, the guidance apart. I'll just give you the first part. Language. The guidance goes wrong from the very start. The overwhelming majority of young people, like the population in general, never experience a difference between their gender and their assigned sex. Some who do, well, it's not assigned. Some who do reach a high degree of certainty and some who do reach a high degree of certainty quickly about how they regard themselves. I don't know what that says. Others take much longer. That is why the correct language is to refer to trans and gender questioning children. To leave out trans is to deny the life experience of those who have achieved a degree of their certainty of their experience. That denial sets the tone for the whole argument. It also fails to mention students who identify as non-binary. I'm sorry, Robin, mate, you're a clown. That's part 1. Right, so let's do part 2 of today's video. Because I think it's important to draw this two ends of the bookcase. All right, Robin on one side, encouraging the association of a trans identity as something other than an illness or a fetish. And then I've got one from the 21st of June 2023 that escaped my attention. Many do, right? Okay. Back in 2016, there was an MTV show, right? It was a documentary on MTV called Transformation. And it featured on it a trans child called Milo. And in June 2023, the Daily Mail reported it turned out to be a big mistake. Gen Z's trans poster child Milo from 2016 MTV show re-emerges and tearfully regrets hormone jabs, hairy belly and dead ovary. And they've got pictures of this beautiful young lady and pictures of the effects of what the testosterone have caused. And what makes this so sad is that this person will find it very hard to move forward in their life, and I hope that they're getting the help that they need. In the original documentary, Milo said being trans made her feel invincible. Now she regrets her testosterone shots, breast removal and hysterectomy. She's in her early 20s. Back in 2016, Milo was celebrated in the documentary Transformation at the start of her female to male gender change. Trying out Hawaiian shirts and saying she felt invincible. But here we are, 7 years later. There's something here, 7 to 10, 7 to 12 years, that 5-year period. Something about the period where they wake up and realise what they've done. 7 years later, and Milo has returned to the screen as a female again, with a YouTube post about bitterly regretting a transition that's left her scared, hairy, and most likely infertile. I keep thinking about how, if I ever want to be perceived by society as a woman, I now have to do vocal training and I need lasers to get rid of my facial hair, but I'm just so tired. When Milo appeared in the MTV documentary, she became a poster child for a transgender movement that was, back then, new to most Americans and not the hot-button political issue it is now. Age 16, she was one of 6 trans and non-binary people from Los Angeles who posed for the camera and got a wardrobe and style makeover. Milo had started receiving weekly testosterone shots and had changed her sex on official papers. I cannot imagine living my life as a female, Milo said in the show 16. Milo described the amazing reality, the amazing feeling of relief that I get from thinking that never have to do anything feminine again for the rest of my life, dear God. Sitting beside him, Milo's supportive mum, Kristen, described the horror stories she'd heard about trans kids killing themselves. The lies. In hindsight, those comments from Milo and Kristen were red flags. Today, many parents complain that doctors and therapists bully them into affirming their child decisions to transition by suggesting that without support, they will take their own lives. Now Milo says she's ashamed of the documentary and can't bear to watch it. Months after it was filmed, Milo had top surgery. Doctors gradually upped her testosterone dose over the years. It caused her vagina to atrophy, a common symptom of female to male transitioners who experience dryness, irritation and bleeding. Due to the discomfort last year, age 21, she underwent a hysterectomy. I kind of just didn't care about my reproductive organs, she said in the video. In my head, I thought, I don't need these organs because I'm a man. 8 months later, she was back at the doctor. Her ovaries had not been removed in the hysterectomy, but one of them had twisted, ruptured and died, she said. The other ovary might be healthy, she added. Amid those mounting medical problems, Milo stopped taking testosterone this month. Milo looks back and accounts for her teenage mistake. She says she was vulnerable, autistic, shy, and socially awkward, all hallmarks of adolescent girls who come out as trans. She found radical gender ideology online and came to believe her boyishness was really gender dysphoria. She found radical gender ideology online and came to believe all of it. Doctors and therapists affirm the change with hormones fast and easily. What I've done to my appearance and my body has almost been a survival tactic or a form of protection against unwanted attention from men, she said. It's every tick of the box. Everyone. And my suggestion is, Robin Moira White, that you shut up. I'll see you later.